definitely disrespectful.
Yeah.
Definitely rude. Definitely condescending. I am very disheartened given the amazing work that y'all have done here. I mean, these rooms are beautiful and stacked, floor to ceiling, literally, with artwork from how many artists? 80?
Yeah.
Saw us from the beginning, right?
I know. This is going to be an awesome hit.
We were out there on ladders painting, and you guys would keep us company. And what did you say about our shop when it opened? You said
it's going to be a blast. It's going to be awesome. Totally.
you said that you don't think that there's another one like it in Puget Sound.
And I still stick to that glory. It was, and I still believe it.
Well, we appreciate your
parsonage and your attitude and effort and compliment.
Thank you.
One good friend, it was still being my own.
Thanks, Terry. I needed that today.
So I'm saddened that you guys aren't going to be able to renew the lease. You've been here 1 year, you put in so much work, represent so many artists, and to be dismissed with no good reason except maybe Ed can't handle an independent woman or two. It's a travesty, and I'm sorry for the community.
Yeah, I am too, and that's why I'm running this documentary. Thank you for your participation.
Absolutely. Good luck.
Thank you. All right, we're here with KingCast Mortgage Movies, and who do we have with us today here at Nomad Northwest?
Nomad Northwest and Christy Fleetwood, both from Shoreline.
Could you tell us a little bit about how we came to meet?
Sure. We met at the Shoreline Farmers Market just last week. Gosh, seems like we've known each other forever. But 6 days ago.
And I know we've been talking a lot since then, and so just to be clear for the record, you did not know me or any of the principals of Nomad Northwest.
Nope. Met you while wandering through the Shoreline Farmers Market with my good friends that were visiting from Virginia.
Okay, terrific. Even though you did not know us personally, I understand you have a history or some knowledge of this particular building.
I have a little knowledge around this particular space because I looked at it for a potential rent option for my own business. I'm a naturopathic doctor.
Okay.
So I'm a physician, I'm a pharmacist, I'm also an educator. And I had a great time talking with Arta.
Now Arta is
one of the owners of Cafe Aroma.
Okay.
A dear soul, very engaging, very personable. She was my main contact person as far as looking at this space because I wanted to put my business here, Monarch Natural Medicine.
How were things progressing with her?
Things were fine with Arta.
Tell me what happened.
Well, we talked about lease. I wanted a shorter term lease. She wanted a longer term lease, like probably 2 or 3 years, potentially 5 because they were signing on for a 10-year. They are leasing the entire space and then subleasing just this piece.
It's like you're curling.
I understand this is a full renovation you're doing here?
Not full. Partial. Mild-mannered renovation.
This storefront, which was previously, as some of you may know, a post and ship place, which really didn't lend itself well to the layout of a boutique at all, has been definitely challenging.
The full story as to why Nomad will indeed be nomadic after July of this year will be told.
The problem is this piece doesn't have a bathroom, doesn't have any running water.
So that wasn't a deal breaker for you?
Only if told that I could not access the bathroom.
Period. Okay.
So.
But yet you have no deal. What happened?
Have no deal. No. So I have no deal here because when I came in with the second contractor, the contractor knew the area and he beat me here. He got here before I did, he and his wife. I knew his wife, she was a client of mine. I had never met him. When I walked in, there was my client, I know her, and there were two men that I did not know. One was her husband, the contractor. The other was Ed, Arta's husband, whom I had never met.
Who is our lessor?
Yeah. I had barely walked into the building, and Ed starts pounding me with questions. Where have you been? We've been waiting for you. Why haven't you signed the lease? I have people waiting for this space. I could have leased this space out last month, 2 weeks ago. I could have had it leased out. And I was so taken aback because I'd never met this man that I just put my hand up and said, excuse me, just a minute. And I went to the other man, the contractor, and just held out my hand and said, hi, I'm Dr. Christy Fleetwood. So nice to meet you. I had about a 20-second reprieve, and then Ed starts going at me again about where have I been and why haven't I contacted them? And I put my hand up again and said, excuse me, just one more time. Hi, I'm Dr. Christy Fleetwood. Let's just start again.
How would you describe his tone?
The big word that comes to my mind is just, it's rude. And a little bit on the haranguing side. And I said to him, if you have people who are ready to take this space that to my knowledge had been vacant since they took ownership of Cafe Aroma, rent it. As I walked around the space and pointed out pros and cons and talking to the contractor, what can we do about this floor? There was a floor that came up. What can we do about this wall? There was a wall that needed to come down. What can we do about this space? There was a door that would need to be cut in. Ed kept following and just kept talking in my other ear to the point that I said, please, I have to hear what this contractor has to say. I need to talk with him. I had never met this man, and I'm not used to being kind of run over. Maybe it's just my temperament, but...
Well, I know that both of the principals here at Nomad have told me, and I was party to a number of conversations with Ed, where he didn't really respect them so much in conversation and in negotiations, and he would defer to me and work only with me because, you know, I have a penis. And that's what our feeling was, and I didn't know if you had that feeling or not.
It may be that he has a problem with independent women. I don't know. I didn't ask. I barely had any room to speak other than, hold on.
Sure.
So
and that's kind of what happened with us too. But I'm just, now that you're telling me the story, I find it enlightening. But continue.
But generally speaking, when I introduce myself, and the doctor in front, not that I'm using that to command some sort of authority, but it does tend to raise my status a bit, if you will. Being says I'm merely a woman, I'm a doctor who's a woman.
And a potential lessee.
Yes! He was rude.
He was rude.
He was arrogant.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a huge red flag. It's like, but Ed, I don't think that I could be here.
This is very interesting because shortly after you viewed the unit, that's when Elisa and Angela came to view the unit. And I was with them for part of that. And I think he changed his tune. He was very cordial and very becoming throughout that whole process until after the lease was signed, and then specifically until after the renovations were done. And at that point, he had been working with me, and then he sent me a nasty email when I asked about some of the internet issues and, you know, things of that nature.
Right.
He, you know, turncoated on me just like that. And, you know, had he put up the red flags in the same manner that he did with you, see, he was somewhat disrespectful to them, but not outright rude in that same way. So I think you kind of learned from your experience, you know, when your deal fell through, and he did what he, you know,
Definitely disrespectful.
Yeah.
Definitely rude. Definitely condescending.
And not a community player.
Oh, no.
Follow the next phase of Nomad and watch for a public statement from founder Elisa Bronstein on their Facebook page. Also, stay tuned as I populate a new website, cafearomashorline.com. The story will be told.